Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we are continuing with our algebra topic and we're going to combine the two things we've looked at so far, which is expanding single brackets, that's what we did last time, and we're also going to bring that together with collecting like terms. So we're going to be expanding single brackets and then we're going to be simplifying, which is collecting like terms. So let's look at some examples. Please can you copy down the examples as we go, just so you've got them to refer back to. So for instance, if we have this expression here, 6, and then in brackets x plus 2 plus 7, we are going to be asked to simplify this expression, expand the brackets. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our skills of expanding brackets and we're going to multiply the terms on the inside of the bracket by 6. So first step, 6 times x gives you 6x, and then 6 times 2 gives you plus 12. And notice on the end here we've got our plus 7. We've not done anything with that yet, so we're just going to stick that on the end there. So far we've used our skills of expanded brackets. We're now going to collect like terms. So we've got 6x, there's no other term with x in it, so that's in its simplest form. And then we're going to collect the 12 and the 7 to become 19. And that is your final answer there. Okay, second example. 4, 3 plus 2y, subtract 3y. First step, we're going to expand that bracket and we're going to multiply everything inside the bracket by 4. So first thing, we've got 4 times 3 to give you 12, 4 times 2y to give you plus 8y, and then we've got that minus 3y on the end we've not done anything with, so we just need to keep that as it is. Our next step is to then collect like terms. So we've got 12 just on its own, then we're going to collect our 8y, subtract 3y to give us 5y. And that's your final answer. Okay, example 3. So you might need to pause at some times, just to give yourself enough time to copy down the examples. That's absolutely fine. Okay, third example. We've got 3x plus 4 and then in brackets 2x minus 1. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to expand this bracket here. Notice that the bracket term is at the end of the expression, but that's absolutely fine. First thing we're going to do is write down our 3x at the start. We've not done anything with that, so we're just going to write it down. And then we're going to multiply 4 and 2x together to give us plus 8x. And then 4 times negative 1 to give us negative 4. And then we're going to collect like terms. So we've got 3x and an 8x to give us 11x, and then we've got subtract 4 on the end. And that is it in its simplest form, and that's your answer. Okay, fourth example. Okay, for our bracket here, okay, notice in front of the 3, we've got a negative. So we're actually going to be multiplying everything inside the bracket by negative 3. So as with the previous example, we've not touched this first term, so we're just going to write that down. Then we're going to take the negative 3 times it by 2y to get minus or negative 6y. And then negative 3 times negative 3 gives you plus 9. A negative times a negative gives you the positive. And then we're going to collect like terms. So we've got our terms 9y and then minus 6y to give you 3y and then plus 9 on the end. And that is your final answer. Okay, make sure you've got all those notes copied down. If you need to go back, that's absolutely fine. The next slide is going to be some questions for you to try. So if you could just pause the video here and try these on your own. Take your time, there's no rush at all. And then when you unpause, I will go through them. Okay, let's go through these answers now. So, first one, we're going to expand this bracket here. We've got 6 times x to give us 6x. Then we've got 6 times 3 to give us plus 18. And we've not touched that plus 5 on the end, so we're just going to keep it as it is. Once we've done that, we need to collect our like terms. 6x plus 23. And that's your answer for that one. And number 2, we're going to expand our bracket first. So we've got 2 times 4y to give us 8y. 2 times negative 5, watch that negative there, to give you minus 10. And then we've got minus 3y on the end. Then we're going to collect our like terms. And our like terms, 8y and that minus 3y, whatever sign is in front of your term needs to be stuck with it. So if we collect those like terms, we're going to get 5y, subtract 10, and that's that answer. Third question, before we go on to expanding the bracket, we've got 9 at the beginning that we've not done anything with yet, so we're just going to keep it as it is. Then we're going to multiply by negative 2. So negative 2 times 2t gives you minus 4t. Then negative 2 times 3 gives you minus 6. And then we're going to collect our like terms, similar to before. We've got a 9 here, we've got a negative 6, so that negative is attached to that 6. So 9 minus 6 is 3 minus 4t. There's no other term there with t in it, so it's just minus 4t. Okay, last question. Similar to question 3, we've got a term at the beginning that we're not going to do anything with just yet, so we're just going to write that down. And then we're going to times by minus 2 again. So minus 2 times w gives you minus 2w. The minus 2 times minus 3 gives you plus 6. Negative times a negative gives you a positive. And then collect your w terms together to give you 8w plus 6. And that is your final answer. Okay, just make sure you mark your work there. We're now going to move on to look at another set of 4 examples, and this time we're going to be faced with 2 brackets, but we're still going to use the same steps as we've done before. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing is removing both sets of brackets. So we're just going to focus on one bracket at a time. So the first one we're going to be multiplying by 3. So 3 times x gives you 3x. Then 3 times 4 gives you plus 12. Then the second bracket, we're going to be multiplying by 4. So 4 times x gives you plus 4x. And then 4 times minus 1 gives you minus 4. Once we've done that, second step as always, we're now going to collect like terms. So collect our x's together, and then we can collect our numbers together. So 3x plus 4x gives you 7x, and 12 subtract 4 gives you 8, and that is your final answer. Again, make sure you are copying these examples down, please, just so you've got them to refer back to. Okay, example 2. Again, remove both sets of brackets first. First one, we're going to be multiplying that first bracket by 5. So 5 times y gives you 5y. 5 times 3 gives you plus 15. Then we're multiplying by positive 3 times y gives you 3y. And 3 times negative 2 gives you negative 6. And then our second step, collect like terms. Make sure you're always leaving your answer in its simplest form by collecting like terms. So 5 plus 3y gives you 8y, and then 15 subtract 6 will give you 9. And that is your answer. Okay, example 3. Notice here that there's a negative in the middle, so we're going to be subtracting these 2 terms. So first one, we're going to times, remove both brackets, times the first bracket by 4. 4 times 2x gives you 8x. 4 times negative 1 gives you negative 4. Our next bracket, we are going to multiply it out by negative 3. So negative 3 times x gives you negative 3x. And negative 3 times 4 gives you negative 12. Okay, collect our like terms. So we've got 8x, and we're going to bring that together with negative 3x. Remember, whatever term is in front, that needs to be stuck together. Okay, so 8x subtract 3x gives you 5x, and then negative 4 we're left with. Negative 4 subtract 12, so be careful with your negatives here. You're going to get negative 16. So 5x subtract 16, that's your final answer for that one. Okay, last example. A lot of negatives here, so we really need to be careful. First step, as always, remove both sets of brackets. So our first bracket, we are going to multiply it out by 5. So 5 times 3c gives you 15c. 5 times negative 1 gives you negative 5. And then our second bracket, we're going to multiply it out by negative 2. So that's why I'm saying be careful with your negatives. So negative 2 times 2c gives you negative 4c, and then negative 2 times negative 3 give you positive 6. That's why it's plus 6 there. Okay, we're almost done. Collect terms again, and be really careful with all your negatives that are going on here. So we've got 15c, subtract 4c, give you 11c, and then we've got negative 5 plus 6 to give you plus 1. And that's your final answer. 11c plus 1. Okay, as before, make sure you've got all those examples copied down. If you need to go back and copy them down again, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure you've got them down so that you can refer back to them. Okay, your turn. So 3 questions for you to try. Pause the video here, and when you unpause, we will go through the answers. Okay, let's go through the answers now. Right, first one. We are going to multiply the first bracket out by 5. So 5 times x gives you 5x. 5 times 1 gives you plus 5. Our second bracket, we're going to multiply out by 2. So 2 times x, got plus 2x, and then 2 times 3 gives you plus 6. We're then going to collect our like terms. So we've got 5x plus 2x, and okay, so give us 7x, then we've got 5 plus 6 give us 11. So 7x plus 11 you should have for that one. Right, question 2. Expand both the brackets. First one we're going to multiply it by 3 to get 3y, and then 3 times negative 1 gives you negative 3. Multiplying out by 2 for your second bracket, 2 times y gives you plus 2y, then 2 times 4 gives you plus 8. And then collect our like terms, so we've got 3y plus 2y to give you 5y, and then we've got minus 3 here, so be careful with that one. If I just highlight to show you, our negative is attached to that 3, it needs to be stuck together. So minus 3, add 8, or you can think about it as 8 subtract 3, give you plus 5. So 5y plus 5 you should have for that one. Okay, final example. Question, sorry. Expand both brackets. First bracket, we're going to multiply it by 7. 7 times x is 7x. 7 times minus 1 is minus 7. And then our last bracket, we're going to be multiplying by negative 2, be really careful there. Negative 2 times 3x gives you minus 6x. And then negative 2 times 2 gives you minus 4. Right, let's collect our like terms. We've got 7x, subtract 6x to just give you x. And then negative 7, I'm going to take away another 4, so negative 7, negative 4 gives you negative 11. And that is your final answer. Okay, make sure you've marked all your work, and that is the end of the examples.